Rocket League is one of the few games that I am happy to play with my family, who are casually interested in video games at best, but also play in a serious competitive environment. The exhilarating fundamentals, along with a smooth learning curve, ensures that every second you spend with this game is exciting and deeply gratifying as you feel yourself progress. Welcome to Wreckpoint. My name's Dan, and let's see why you should get down to some serious supersonic, acrobatic, rocket-powered action. Rocket League is a football game, or a soccer game if you're a Derry colonist, in which you play as cars instead of people. It was developed by Psyonix, a studio out of San Diego. It's actually a sequel to the lesser known and fantastically named Supersonic Acrobatic Rocket Powered Battle Cars. Now if you want the short pitch, I'll tell you this. Forget about the cars and the boost mechanics. Rocket League is the best football game I've ever played. You see, the problem with other football games is that they don't feel anything like playing football. They're more concerned with the top-down tactical approach where you play as the whole team. Rocket League simplifies this and makes you feel like the individual player. I ended up thinking about it like this. The cars aren't cars, they're the feet of the players. So, I've said that Rocket League is the best football game, so if you like football, you should play it. But even if you don't, there's a lot to love here. Let's start with the fundamental gameplay. There's this simplicity. There's two teams and two goals. You're trying to bash the ball into their goal while stopping them from doing the same to you. Simple. But then you add in that you can boost and make your car go super fast, and the pitches are so small. This means that you don't have positions in Rocket League. The pace of the match, even when you've just started playing, is too fast for it. You'll constantly be switching from offense to defense, up and down the pitch. This relentless tempo means that the game never comes close to being boring. On top of the general back and forth of the game being just generally fun, there are so many little touches that make everything so pleasurable. The way that your car thuds when you hit top speed, the way the ball reacts differently depending on what part of the car you hit it with, the explosions that go off when you score a goal. All of this just means the game feels amazing to play. And then there's the moments. I have a theory that you can judge how good a multiplayer game is by how often I have the urge to tell someone a story about something I pulled off in it. Rocket League is packed with these kinds of moments, faking out an enemy player while they flail around looking like an idiot, zooming into the air and tipping the ball over the goalie, or hitting a cross-pitch shot at the last second to send the game into overtime. And that right there is one of the advantages that Rocket League has over its multiplayer competitors, like League of Legends, Dota and Overwatch. You see, all of these games have snowball mechanics. In League of Legends and Dota, that comes in the form of buying items. In Overwatch, it's the weakness of a team with a dead player. However, in Rocket League, the enemy team can have as many goals as they like. It's not going to make it any easier for them to score more. Not only does this make comebacks extremely common, ensuring that every game stays tense throughout, it also makes defeat less demoralising, creating a friendlier environment for new and existing players. The lack of snowballing is not the only way Rocket League is friendly to new players. To start, the concept is just so simple that there's no need to explain the game to anyone. Give someone a controller and they'll have a pretty good idea of what to do. Then there's the fact that most games only take 5 minutes, meaning that any single match is not some 40-minute slog like any other multiplayer games. They're punchy and leave you hungry for more. Now all of this isn't to say that there isn't depth here. You just have to compare a beginner match with a pro match to see that. The beginner match looks like a pack of dogs chasing a ball, while the pro match looks like an airborne ballet. Now this is great. What is even more impressive is the complete lack of humps in the learning curve. The progression from beginner to expert is long and arduous, but there are so many tiny little steps just out of reach to get you there that you always feel like you're progressing. Going for that next level of air control or improving your defensive positioning is always just there in reach. All of this competitive goodness is wrapped in a very simple but attractive package. I mentioned earlier the fantastic sound design with the thud of the boost and the satisfying explosions upon scoring a goal. However, beyond this, the visuals are fantastic. They have their own toy-like charm and a distinct identity. The smart thing they did here is make everything quite simple within the pitch. The cars and goals and boost pickups are easy to pick out even from a distance. This is ideal for a competitive game where clarity is key. That's not to say they have scrimped on the aesthetics though. The cosmetics you can get for your car are ludicrous and really quite fun. All the surroundings outside the pitches look stunning, and some of them, like the underwater pitch, are a really unique idea. For a while the pitches themselves were slightly different shapes, but this ended up feeling a bit strange and the community complained, so they changed it. Changing the pitches upon the community's request is just one example of the fantastic job Psyonix does at listening to their community. Another would be making the goals transparent now. It may take them a while to implement these changes, but you can tell that they care what the players think of the game. There are a bunch of other ways that they support the game too. There's side modes like the basketball or hockey mode, there's the new completely free pitches they released for the main mode, or adding custom training so players can learn the game however they please. All of this keeps the game feeling consistently fresh. However, they do release loot boxes to fund all of this. Now, I like the things in the loot boxes. They're only cosmetic and they look fantastic. So they're okay, but the use of loot boxes is always going to bother me a little bit. Rocket League is the best football game I have ever played. The fundamental gameplay is incredibly fun, the game's tempo never dips below accelerating, it is the smoothest learning curve I've ever seen in a multiplayer game. It is presented in a charming yet simple fashion that makes sure clarity comes first, all while there are a team of developers constantly supporting the game, keeping it fresh. If this sounds like something you want to give a go, let's play some football with cars. Or if you've already played it, let me know what you thought in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for a new game recommendation every week. I don't know if any of you will remember this, but Rocket League was actually the first What You Should Play I ever made. I took it off my channel because honestly it's not very good, but I wanted one of those because, well, it inspired this whole form of video.